Hello, everyone. This is Aaron Gutekunst from Elevate coming to you once again for another Monday Morning Mentor. So last week, we started on the topic of social media marketing and why that needed to be incorporated into your overall marketing strategy. We touched a little bit on the important platforms you should be using, some bits of content ideas that we threw your way, as well as some tips. This week, we're going to be taking this step further and kind of diving into the why. Why is it important? How should you be doing this? What are kind of like the things you should be keeping in mind when you're putting together content for your social media marketing? And so the way I wanted to start this out was just with a quick quiz. Just true or false. Good content takes a lot of time. What do you think? It's false. Although creating content can be time consuming, it doesn't have to be. And that's, I think, one of the things that a lot of real estate professionals get hung up on at the beginning is that they just assume that content just takes forever to make and takes forever to put out there. And it really doesn't need to. And we're going to go over some of those strategies here today. So, although creating content, like I said, can be time consuming, it's definitely more of a mixed bag. Some content is nothing more than just capturing a moment in your life and sharing it. Taking a shot of taking a photo of the, new coffee shop in your neighborhood, or giving a shout out to the most delicious latte that you've had, something easy like that, content or lifestyle content. Other types of content require more thought and effort. Like if you're creating, let's say like a video interview, maybe with one of your fellow agents, or maybe with your broker, or maybe it could be like a mortgage lender, someone who you work with like an ancillary service. You could have written a blog and you're trying to share that out. Blogs take a little bit more time, obviously, than social posts. That's something we talked about last month. It could be something that you're writing about in your community, trying to showcase something that's going on, something that you've written yourself, obviously, but it could even be something like editing a video tour of your latest listing. So, there are things that can take a little bit more time, but as you're going through, and whether you're doing things that are just like like I mentioned, just a quick photo, real quick, post it to your social channels from your phone, or if it's taking a little bit more effort and a little more time to put together, there's two questions you always need to be asking yourself when you're putting together content. The first one is, does this provide value? Value, this is going to be information. This is going to be something of interest. This is going to be something that's local. It's something that's relatable. Does the content that you're putting out, does it fall into one of those? Are people finding it valuable? Like, are they pulling value from it? The second question is, does this engage my audience? And this goes a little bit, hand in hand, but you can definitely provide valuable content without making it engaging, without getting people to share it and click on it or comment on it or like it. So those are kind of the two things we want to look at. First, does this provide value? And second, does this engage my audience? Does it make them want to dive deeper? Does it make them want to, click on it and see more? Always keep in mind that the reason that you're creating content in the first place is to, of course, provide value to your audience. I've talked about this in our other themes throughout the past few months. You also want to use it to initiate conversations. And ultimately, you want to use it to build and nurture your sphere, and to lead business and personal opportunities to your different landing pages, so that you can start collecting those leads. What I'm going to be going over today, we're going to be talking about some tips, tricks, and strategies. We're going to be talking about some best practices. In following weeks, we're going to be giving you more content examples, some things that are more specific to get you started. And then we're also going to be including a guide at the very end of this, where you're going to be able to take all of this, have it in one spot, in one nice package where you can just grab it. It's free. And then you can go ahead and start implementing these strategies into your marketing. So, just some tips that we can start working on to begin with. The first one is to be community focused. Use your content to position yourself as a local expert, because real estate's local. You want to be able to give more of a personal feel, to show your audience that you are part of the community. Showcase local events, local businesses, neighborhood news. Demonstrate that you are in the know. Next, different channels need different content. We talked about all the different channels that you can use to spread your message, to incorporate into your marketing strategy. And the way that your different audiences engage with maybe something like email is going to be very different than how they engage with social posts. Or even to break it down even further, the way that people engage with a tweet is going to be very different than how people engage with like a Facebook post or a TikTok video or something on Instagram. Just be sure that you're kind of paying attention and keeping up with trends on each one of those, or at least whichever ones that you're going to be active on, so that your content, the way that you present it, is going to fit with that channel. Next, you want to be consistent. Many agents, many of you guys understand the need to post, to blog, to be active on social media. It's not just important to understand that it needs to be there, but it's also important that you create a schedule and that you're consistent with that schedule. So if you decide, okay, on Mondays I am going to do, like a Monday morning tip or something like that, and then you're just going to share that out, then every Monday make sure you're doing it. If on Wednesday you're sharing something that has to do with the community, make sure that every Wednesday you're sharing that. Train your audience to look for your content. You also want to be able to offer variety. There's a lot of great content out there that you can share, and it doesn't all have to revolve around real estate. Yes, you are a real estate professional. That is your industry. That is your home turf. But about 90% of your sphere isn't looking to buy or sell at that very moment when you're about to post something. So you want to be sure to share content like lifestyle content, home technology, homeowner tips and tricks, local events. I keep bringing those up. But things that will keep everybody engaged, not just that 10% that is actively looking to buy or sell at that particular time. Next, and this will kind of tie into the first or the last two we talked about, but know your audience. Understand your market and know how to make your audience engage with you and your brand. Make sure that your content is resonating. Again, this ties back to value. This ties back to making it engaging. You want your content to resonate with the mindsets, the needs, the interests of your audience. If you're posting content that your audience isn't interested in, they will go somewhere else where there is content they are interested in, because they are not a captive audience. They can just go. So you want to be sure that you're continuing, again, to provide value. And by knowing your audience, that greatly increases your chances or your ability to provide value and understand them and to provide content that engages with them. Next, you want to be original. Just posting just like a casual casual video of yourself, just like once a week, whether that's you just talking to the camera like I am now, or if you're talking to someone else and you're both kind of having a discussion in front of a camera. It could be while you're doing tasks like putting out signs. It could just be a quick sit down and share some thoughts on the current market or the way things are going right now. If you don't feel camera ready, just do a video tour, like a tour of a property, but just do it in first person, where you're basically recording out from yourself, what's going on in front of you, rather than recording yourself. I've always joked that I have a face for radio. So me getting in front of a camera like this was a little bit different for me at first. And so, that's why I would recommend, if you don't feel ready for it quite yet, or even if it's just one of those things where, you just got done with, taking a jog and you're just like, yeah, I'm not presentable for camera at this very second, then yeah, using a different strategy, like doing a first person shoot, is totally fine. Be engaging. Again, this kind of ties back to what we had talked about in the beginning. Great content and providing value is more than just the post. You have to actually engage with your audience too. After you send something out and throw it out there into the social media realm, people are hopefully going to be engaging with it. People are going to be commenting on it, liking it, sharing it. Be sure that you're able to keep up with that. One of the things that agents kind of shoot themselves in the foot a lot of times is they'll go out and they'll procure a service that just posts social content for them. And yeah, the content might provide some value, but then the agent doesn't continue to follow up with all the responses and everything that they're getting on that content. So it just ends up being like a one-way conversation. And people are on social media to be social. So if you are presenting yourself as a personable brand where you're putting content out there, inviting them to engage with it, and then people are in fact engaging with it, you need to continue that conversation and engage back. Keep that, respond to them in the comments, thank them for commenting or sharing. Don't let the conversation stall out just by not paying attention to it. And then finally, and probably most importantly, is be yourself. Especially nowadays, people really value authenticity and transparency. Like those are huge right now, especially in an industry that is so focused around a relationship with or between you and the client you're working with. Nothing connects with a customer more than being personable, being trustworthy, and being real. And people can sniff that out. People can tell if you're being artificial on social media, if you're not being real with them. And so that's why it's important that, yes, you can get someone who puts out social content for you, but you still need to go in there. You still need to put in your own every once in a while. Again, that authentic you. And you still need to engage with those people who are trying to turn around and engage with the content that you're sharing with them. And that's what's so great about social media is that, again, these are all things that don't really take a lot of time. But once you get into the rhythm of them, you're going to be churning out content that is valuable, that is engaging, that is authentic, that draws people to your brand. And however you decide to position yourself online, you're going to make it so much easier on yourself by just following these simple strategies. So we've talked about this. Next week, we're going to be talking about social media content ideas, because I want to give you these strategies that you can implement, but I also want to give you some more things that you can use to build on top of that. Some actual content ideas that I think will really help you with your social media marketing strategy. But until then, I hope you guys have a great week. Again, I'm still working on a good sign off. So until I figure that out, my name is Aaron Gutekunst with Elevate. Check us out at tryelevate.com. Again, you can also find us or our guides, like ones we have on social media marketing. You can find those at the link that I'm putting right over here. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.